Hello syntax lover. In my last video I talked about first two features of OOPS. Now I'm going to discuss inheritance and polymorphism. But before I start, let me tell you these two topics are broadly two chapters in your class 10. But for your class 9, I will give you a very basic overview, and for that reason, I will provide you this particular GitHub link in the description below. Please go and check it out. If you write down these following points for your class 9, it will be sufficient. But I just don't want that you will mug up some points. Rather, what I want is that you should fetch a very good score for your class 10 standard, and for that reason I will also discuss it with the help of programs, because ultimately in your class 10 you have to write in your section B. There will be four broad questions of each 15 marks, so you can understand how good you need to get yourself for your programs. So why don't you start from your class 9? Okay, so the first feature of this particular video is called polymorphism. So before I talk about these points, let me come to my BlueJ and let me open this small code snippet. Okay, let's see what this is all about. And you can see over here I haven't written any public static void main. The reason why I do this is I want that you should get yourself aware about object, about instances. That's what I want. So I'm writing a name called obj1 over here. So you can see this is a parenthesis because it's a class name. So later on in your class 10 you will come to the chapter called constructor. So then this portion will be very clear. So that's the reason I don't often use public static void main. So over here my instance is available. So if I right click on this, we can see there is a function called void set, because we also have a void set function inside polymorphism. So this is my instance name, this is my class name, and inside this class I have the function called void set. So as I click this, and comes the output over here. So let me keep my program also, and let me evaluate the output, what the output is. So, so please see the program first very minutely. You can pause your video, see the program, check the output, and then continue. Okay. So in this program, what I have done, I declared a class by the name called polymorphism, since I'm discussing the feature of OOPS. You are free to choose whatever class name you want. Here I have defined one variable, and I have made use of comment line. It's a very good practice that you should use comment line, because in your board exams comment line will fetch you good score. I told you I want it, you should get 100 out of 100. I have made use of a method called set. This is a custom method of my choice. I have initialized the value of x. That's the reason I've written the comment line initialization. I have got couple of print statements. So the first print statement is doing what? It is printing the value of the variable which I've written over here. See, x. So the x value is getting printed. Is that what I'm talking about? Is that all about? Obviously no. Because if you come down over here, you will see something very surprising. See the output of the very first line, concatenation. That means this particular statement is coming in picture, and then comes the value of the variable x, which is 11. So what is this plus refers to? This is called string concatenation operator, and that's what I have mentioned. String concatenation operator. See, I've written over here string concatenation. So that means the plus operator, which we often use from the very first day of your program, has got multiple tasks. It can perform concatenation, it can also perform arithmetic operation. At least at this line it is not performing arithmetic operation, rather it is performing concatenation once again. So how come this 1110 is coming as if like a binary data is coming? Simply the value of x, which is 11, 11, that is getting printed right over here, and then again you are concatenating 10, so 1010 is coming just beside this, and that's how you are getting this particular value. So this is the feature of string concatenation. But don't worry, this feature will immediately get changed with the inclusion of something called parenthesis, or inclusion of something called braces. The moment you put parenthesis among two variable or among two operand, suddenly the whole thing will get changed. So let me go for compile. Yes, there is no syntax error. And now let me create an instance. Okay, fine, no issue. And now let me run my program. And now you see the output and see the program simultaneously. See, the concatenation functionality still remains. That means you are using the same plus operator. At this line, it is performing string concatenation, whereas at this line, it is performing dual functionality. Dual. Why? Because the parenthesis is wrapping the operand. So this is one operand and this is another operand. So you can call variable also as operand or operand. You are free to choose both the term. So when you are putting two operand within parenthesis, the plus or the concatenation replaces to mathematical operator. So it is replacing itself to mathematical operator, and after it has calculated summation, and now it is again going to perform the role of concatenation, and that's the reason why you are seeing both the things simultaneously. Both the thing means the statement at one hand and the value of the variable at the other hand. So after concatenation. So that means this same operator is performing two tasks. That means it is one operator, but it has got multiple functionality. And that is what the feature of polymorphism is all about. Okay, so I believe this program you have clearly understood. Now let's switch to the theoretical definition which you need for your class 9. But even if you put this program, if you have understood this program, you put this in your exam for class 9 also, no issue, it will give you 100 out of 100. In case if you have any confusion, make sure you ask the question in the comment section below. Okay, so in this theory note, what I have said, the word polymorphism means it can take several forms. You saw the plus operator is performing dual functionality, so it's a several form. It is derived from the Greek word where poly means many and morphism means form. So polymorphism means many form. So this particular application or this particular feature of OOPS is very important because it can perform different operation in different scenario. And we saw the operator plus is performing different operation. Later on, when we move to class 10, you will find that polymorphism can be used with the help of method, and that's the reason over here there are 2-point Averton method overloading and method overriding. These two features we will be discussing broadly in the playlist that I will provide for class 9. Sorry, class 10. Right now in the 9 section, we are working only on this operator overloading part where it is performing the numeric addition as well as the string concatenation. Okay, so for your class 9, if you write this portion, it is enough, and I will ask you that please do provide the program along with the answer. Okay, because this will develop the confidence. That is what very much required. I have seen many of the students, they lack the confidence writing the program, but that should not be the case because this is a very interesting. See, you should have an eye that while you're pursuing your class 10, I will try to put forward a separate playlist for Android. Since you're learning Java, why don't you come up with small apps that you will be executing in your mobile phone, and for that reason you can use this concept of Java to develop Android app, and that is what I'm targeting. Okay, I want to increase the group of syntax lover. Okay, so make sure that you subscribe to this channel and spread these videos among your friends. So now the feature of polymorphism is done. We can switch to the next feature that is called inheritance. It is a very vast topic. Okay, well, again, I'm saying that the inheritance is a separate chapter that will be there for your class 10, but it is really interesting. So before I go to these points, let me explain the program. I will ask you that please pause the video, see the program, and then you resume it. Okay, welcoming back once again. So over here in this particular program, I have written couple of classes. See, this is a class called parent. So long you were working on a single class. The previous program which you have done, it was just working on a previous only one class. But right now you have got multiple classes, and that is what the beauty of Java is. You can work on more than one class. So I have given the class name called parent, and inside the class I have written a small function called 1. It just has a statement called base and nothing more than that. And below it I have written another class called inherit. These are the class name of my choice. It's a custom class. You can write whatever class name you feel like, no problem. Now, when you're working on inheritance, make sure you use the keyword called extend. So you are extending the entire class parent to this particular class called inherit. It's something like your parent has got certain properties that has been inherited by you. You might look similar to that of your parent. Your facial expression, your character, your behavior might have a similarity with your parent, and that's what inheritance is all about. Along with that, you yourself has also certain characteristic that is not present in your parent. Okay, you might be fascinated toward Java, you might be fascinated toward singing. Your parent might not like that. They might be fascinated to something else. But something is common among you both, and that is what inheritance is. So that means the class inherit, even though it has got only one function, but actually it is not so. The class inherit also inherit the function one, that is belongs to this parent class, since we have extended it. So that means the inherit class actually consists of two functions. This is the first function, and this is the function that belongs to itself. This is the function that has been inherited from its parent, and this is the function that belongs to itself. So this is what inheritance is going to do. So you're extending the functionality of one class to that of the other. So the derived class, so this is the derived class, is going to have additional features because it is accepting the features of the parent. At the same time, it is introducing something of its own, and that's what inheritance is all about. See, just go by the term called inheritance. Okay, so now let me compile this program. Okay, before that, let me just see if there is any syntax error. Of not, no, there is no syntax error. That's good. So now let me compile the program. Let me, yes, see over here it's creating the instance object once again. And now see how the beauty is. Again, before I right click over here, let me show you this particular inherit class. If you see programmatically, it consists of only one function, but in reality it is not so. As I right click over here, see in the inherit from object, in the inherit from objects, why it is calling object? Because this is the parent class, so it is inheriting from the object. So inside the parent class object, you don't have anything. Okay, this is something talking about another class called object class. But if you come over here, inherit from parent, see over here you have got two classes, right? One is called parent, other one is called inherit. So if you talk about the object, this is a separate class which we will be dealing in your class 10 standard. But if you come over here, see you have the parent class called 1. So you click this, it is a base, because that is what the output is coming from, this base that comes from the parent class. And if you talk about this one, so if you close this and if you come over here, see there is another class, another function called 2. This is what coming from the derived class. So that means two classes are involved. There are two classes involved, two functions are there in the respective classes. Here is the function that belongs to inherit, here is the function that belongs to the parent class. Okay, and now let's come to the theory part, which will be more and more, we need to understand this one. So what we are seeing over here, this is my base class, this is my child class, right? So the base class has its own function, the child class has its own function. But did we able to access the parent class function? Well, let's try out this one. So why don't we put something like this, 1 breast open and breast close. If you do this, what will happen now? Let me compile it. Let me try to compile it. Oh my god, there is no syntax error. Is this the function of its own class? No, this is not the function of its own class. This is the function of the parent class which is inheriting, isn't it? Now let's check out what happens at this point of time. The previously you saw there is a function in the parent class, that is 1. Now you are seeing there is a function called 2. But if you click this, you will see both the output. You are seeing both the output. That means you are inheriting what is there right over here. See, the output base is also coming. So that means this function is giving a call to the parent class, and from there the following function is getting executed. By virtue of that, you are going to get this output. See, base is coming, and then it is printing its own content. That's the reason derive is coming. So that means if this inheritance was not done, if this inheritance was not done, it will not be able to work on this one function. Let me show you even that also. I am chopping this statement out, and now if I try to compile it, see, boom, there is an error. There is an error. It is unable to find this particular function. That's the reason it's saying, see, the method symbol 1, maybe you meant something different. So it cannot find the symbol. So that means the following term which you are writing over here is actually the feature that is extending the property of your base to your child. And that's what inheritance is all about. So let me come back to the code again. Inheritance is a mechanism of one class acquires a property of another class. So your derived class is acquiring the property of the parent class. Okay. See, in case if you stuck with any point, do rewind the video and go through it once again. I'm sure you will be very clear. If you have a problem, make sure you put forward in the comment section. So let me give an example of this inheritance. The child class inherits the property of parent. That's what we are seeing it. With inheritance, you can reuse the field and method of the existing class variables. So might be you will be using some additional functionality with this function. That is possible, and that's what we will be doing it in the playlist which I will provide for your class 10 standard, where there will be detailed programs of inheritance. Okay. Third point, this is something which will be very important for your class 10 standard. Inheritance will make use of multiple classes. At the same time, we do make use of something called super. So super will be a new keyword that will be introduced in your class 10 standard, but I will be saying that you do write these points even in your class 9, because if you get yourself acquainted with these terms, you don't have a problem in your class 10. See, if you just be satisfied of just getting a pass mark, it's a different thing. But if you're targeting 100 out of 100, you need to little bit extra knowledge you have to accumulate in your class 9 itself, so that you can flourish when you go to class 10 standard. So super is a keyword that will be very much used in case of inheritance. And with the help of super, what you will be doing? You can access variable constructors and methods of the parent class. Constructor, see the word constructor. I told you, that when you right click over here, this is what the constructor is, a class name followed by parenthesis. That is what called constructor is coming in picture. Okay. We will be using the keyword extend, and we in fact did that. We already saw the keyword extend has to be there to go for inheritance. And lastly, there is also something called interface. So not only multiple classes will be used in this program, we are using multiple classes, but we do also have got something called interface. So with the help of interface, we can also go for inheritance. Well, you can create the interface. If you click this new class, see over here the interface is there. So you can create interface, or you can create multiple interface, and with the help of multiple interface, you can create inheritance as well. Okay, so that's all from this video presentation. I hope this thing will help you a lot. Make sure you download the file which I will provide in the description below. Whatever doubt you have got, write down in the comment section, and do subscribe to my channel. Pass this video among your friends so that we can increase the gang of syntax lover. Thank you so much.